Okay, all right, everybody. Hello and welcome to the Long Dark. Now, in the last episode, we made our way. We made our way from Coastal Highway all the way to Mystery Lake. We hunted, I believe, 2 cougars, maybe. No, we hunted 1 cougar, and we went into Bleak Inlet, and we got the passcode for the door to the cannery, which we can get into now during any Aurora. We're preparing for our first foray into the far territories, but right now we're trying to get our feet on the ground in Mystery Lake. I'm gonna want a good stockpile of food, a good stockpile of fish, a good stockpile of water. We're probably gonna want to make a furniture workbench and make a meat curing box, which we can use salt on, right? Unfortunately, we do have a shortage of salt. I'm gonna need to find salt in this area, and I don't currently know where to find it. I believe I might be able to find some in the cave that connects Milton region to Mystery Lake. But we're gonna have to wait and see. We'll take a look. Maybe we'll figure something out. Alright, let's log in. I'm missing quite a lot of health. We have a pile of raw meat here that can be cooked. And we have been working on collecting some fire fuel. We're gonna want to work on it a little more, though. You were in the Aurora Cave and Coastal Highway, and the Aurora ended, but you managed to get out somehow, even after it ended? Oh, yeah. Yeah, true. So the light stopped sparking, but there was enough residual power for you to get down the elevator. That's fucking lucky. You got lucky, bro. You almost died of exposure. Oh, man. Yo. It's fucking foggy out here. What the fog is going on here? I hear another cougar. I could try to hunt it. But I am missing a lot of health already. Oh yeah, I have to warm up. So we're gonna get those 2 guts off the wolf. And then I might go fight that cougar, but probably not. Like, honestly, avoiding it would be the smart play, but I do need to try to get some more firewood in the area. What I might do is work on moving over to the fishing cabins. If we move to the fishing cabins, then we'll have a lot more wood around us in general at all times, but it'll be a longer walk whenever we want to leave the region. Because honestly, the camp office is not a good base in terms of like food availability and whatnot. If you're based up at the fishing cabins, you actually have access to a lot of deer and wolves that just wander around on the surface of the water. Much better over there. Much more convenient. Let's drop these 2 guts here. I don't suppose I could find that deer that was wandering around here before the other night during the Aurora. I doubt it. Anyway, let's get as many sticks as we can. I'm trying to conserve the cedar and the fir that we get. Because I'm going to want that to build a furniture workbench and a salt curing box, you know? But shit, looks like all we have here is cedar limbs. Are there any wild animals here that I could hunt? We got a couple of rabbits. It's better than nothing. And if I'm lucky, the scent rating from the rabbits will attract a wolf to my location. I think I see a wolf off in the distance. Yeah, fuck yeah. 100% I do. All right, we're gonna lure that wolf back home. Call him before you depart, and oh, guaranteed Aurora. Yeah, very true. Yo, I fucking ripped into those Farthest Frontier devs, but I stand by every fucking word. I mean, you can't require people to repeatedly re-roll a map until they get something they want, and then fail to properly data dump between re-rolls, making it so their game crashes when they find what they want. Like that, and I'm glad that that happened, because it's a perfect example of how people will make a game, but they won't think about the game. It's like they think about the money that they'll make selling it, but they don't actually think about your experience while playing it. And I think that's a huge blight on the gaming industry right now. They may as well be Electronic Arts. Like, they may as well be Ubisoft. You know what I mean? And the dude will not abide. Got it. Hey, look at that. Okay, that was the last shot on our bow. Let's get inside. We have to grab our mint condition bow now. It's busted. Yeah, the fact that the wolves run straight at you is actually kind of a major blessing. Okay, let's drink up and harvest these rabbits. I don't know how much longer I have on this knife of ours. We're gonna have to take a trip. Take a trip to the Forlorn Muskeg Forge and make that cougar claw knife. Oh, always, Zuzi, always. The Long Dark is just reliable. I take it for granted because of how reliable it is. This is one of the best games I'll ever play, I think. It wasn't always that way. I used to get really pissed off at the limitations in this game back before the Far Territories updates came out. But when they dropped everything, and they said, okay, we're gonna focus on survival mode because we know it's neglected and we know you guys deserve better, I was won over. Like, for life, I was won over. Yeah, fried foods will do that. Drop the guts. Rabbit hides. And let's work on that wolf outside. Okay, warm up. Now let's peel off that hide. 28 minutes with your bare hands. Yo, this visibility, man, that's fucking sick. It's very rare you get weather quite like this. Okay, let's eat. I have bannocks and pies. And honestly, I'm conflicted about it, but I think I still might try to... You know what? There is a really good place for me to have a fire. The only thing that sucks about it is I have to cart everything back with the travois after I use it. You guys know that trail behind the house that leads to... What is it? Allen's Cave? I'm not sure. It's either Allen's Cave or like some other place. But there's a trail behind the camp office that leads to a completely windproof area, but it counts as outdoors. So you get the duration bonus on your campfire whenever it's there. Maybe a fire here would be protected from the wind. It's hard to say, honestly. I wish I could tuck it in there, but I would love to find a completely windproof fire location here. I really would. Like maybe this... It's highly doubtful, though. It's very hard to find a completely windproof spot. This little dip might do if I could place the fire here, but it doesn't look like I can. Too windy, huh? This place does work well until it doesn't work well anymore. Let's break down this fire. What do you mean, set up a survival shelter and cook inside? Anyway, we're gonna have to go to the fishing cabins if we want to have a chance at getting some real good firewood, like a lot of it. Oh, primarily what I'm worried about is the fire getting blown out. So, like, I have a couple of options, but none of them are good. I could take that trail out behind the house, because the colder it is, the colder the ambient temperature around you, the longer your fire fuel burns for in this game. So you can get the most out of your fuel by having a fire outside type thing. I could go up to that cave at the Rabbit Grotto, at the lake overlook, or I could go follow this trail behind the house. Like, there are options, but that's far, you know? I might have to bite the bullet and just sometimes waste some fuel here. Either way, we're gonna try to get some more fire fuel first. Let's warm up, and then we'll walk the trail to the fishing cabins. Yeah, fuel efficiency. We're almost ready for another 10 hours of rest, which is good. I'll try to get as much fire fuel as I can. Yeah, these fishing cabins are the best place to live for multiple reasons. Not only do you have immediate access to deer and wolves, you also have immediate access to fish, and there's a cave that is like it's a very brief walk from your cabin. There's a cave that you can use to put a campfire at the front where it's completely windproof yet still cold, and you'll have the longest temperature boost, the longest duration boost possible. Really, really great. Like, honestly, ever since the Safe House customization update, these fishing cabins up here are the best base in Mystery Lake. For so many reasons, you know? Now, there's a lot of fire fuel around this area that I can gather. Deer's on the water. I'm not going to want to let myself freeze too much, but let's try and get whatever sticks over here I can get. I'll use the light so it's fast. I can't do branches right now, I'm too cold, but I could at least grab whatever sticks are laying around. Yeah, we got a lot of fire fuel just around these cabins. However, I found in my last playthrough, I was unable to base up here because of the fact that these two cabins are derelict. I needed one cabin to be like my base, and the cabin beside it to be my meat curing box, my furniture workbench, my actual workbench, my hide and gut drying area. You need two cabins, so because of that, like, a lot of it depends on the RNG of which cabins spawn, like, intact, you know? Yeah, Coastal Highway is really good for fuel. Around the Quonset area, there's so many different places that you can check. Even just for loose sticks. But I mean, there's also a shitload of fir wood, cedar wood. I had a wonderful time making the furniture workbench and the meat curing box there because wood was just so plentiful and readily available. Okay, we're warm. Let's go outside and try to get more fuel. It's pretty fucking cold. Like, really windy. There are a lot of branches, just not any in the windproof place. So I'm gonna have to just freeze and do this one branch at a time and then go warm up. Yeah, it's not bad. Anyway, I might want to sleep now, just to get the health back. Beautiful. 2 branches fully harvested, bunch of sticks on the ground, stacking on top of each other. Let's go warm up. Yeah, and I find lately, ever since like a couple of updates ago, Evo, even the sticks don't despawn. Instead, what happens is the game will spawn more sticks on top of the sticks that are already there. So if I go to pick up one stick, there could be like 3 sticks beneath it. Man, this is awesome. We're getting tons of fire fuel, and if we get an Aurora, we can start taking apart furniture inside the cabins, too. Getting reclaimed wood. Anyway, let's eat. We have a lot of these. Venison and rabbit pies. However, one thing that's weird is I haven't noticed like multiple stones beneath each other. I've noticed it with sticks, but I haven't noticed it with stones. I've also noticed that in certain places, the loose sticks don't respawn. Like, if you gather all the loose sticks behind the camp office, they don't come back. The only thing that respawns there is the branches. Very strange. Now, this cave over here, I can actually use it to warm up. while I harvest all the branches near this cave. Very useful. I don't see any fire fuel or anything in here. But it is a place to warm up, if nothing else. Yeah, this cave is very helpful for getting the branches here. Could have just slept, but that's okay. What do you mean? If you're talking about how I'm passing time, I'm doing that on purpose. Remember, my condition recovery is set to low. So if I nap for 1 hour, I'm kind of wasting health. It's better to sleep for 10 hours straight and get the multiplier on your health restoration than it is to sleep for 1 hour batches, right? And on low condition recovery, I need to sleep for 10 hours. It's non-negotiable. I need to, in order to have the ability to get health back at all. I don't really see any more branches near here. Let's get back to that cave. Or maybe I'll just go straight to the cabin now. Yeah, Stalker and Interloper. Even Interloper, I find, the health regeneration is very forgiving. I can lose like half my health in Interloper and then sleep 10 hours and I'm full health again. That was one of the hardest things to get used to when I started playing Harderloper. One of the hardest things. Okay, we got 3 reclaimed wood from that chair. Now we're warm. Let's go back out. I left another branch over here. Another couple, it looks like, maybe. Let's get this one. Yeah, I think I'm gonna move in here into this fishing cabin. We're getting pretty low on water. I have enough for maybe one more sleep. I hear the sounds of an Aurora beginning. Normally I'd be excited about it. I would use it as an opportunity to harvest furniture indoors, but we're too tired and we're gonna be having thirst problems soon. So what I have to do is go back home and prepare a bunch of water. We got 71 sticks though, and that's not nothing. Hell, that's huge. So let's use this weather to get back home. And then when we get there, I can sleep, and after we've slept, I can cook food and boil water. Hopefully without having to use any of the good fuel we have, like the cedar wood. I'd prefer to just use sticks if I can. Yeah, auroras are my daylight hours. It's all I get. It's not enough light to loot a building, but it's enough light to craft, enough light to harvest things with a tool. And what's interesting about Endless Night is that there's so few places where you can actually craft without an aurora. One of the things that makes the camp office good, which I wouldn't have if I moved to the fishing cabin, is I can light the potbelly stove to have light for the workbench. I also had that at Coastal Highway. I was able to light the fire barrel in Coastal Highway so that I could use it to craft. I would like to try to kill this wolf. I mean, it is just more food. I better not fuck up this shot. I am very tired. Getting in a struggle at this level of fatigue could be lethal. Unlikely, but possible. Son of a bitch. Runs away with my fucking arrow. What a douche. Alright. What really sucks is there was no electrical lighting near him. He had no reason to stop moving. That was a glitch. There's too many Aurora Wolf glitches, you know? Oh shit, did I just lose my well-fed? I think I did. Yeah, a lot of fuck-ups back to back. I was distracted by the glitch. Oh well, I guess that's it. Alright. I am a charitable man. I am a godly and holy man. I will abide by the presence of this glitch and how it fucked me up. And I will bounce back. I am a holy man. Now, I definitely can't... I don't think I can... Well, shit. That fire would actually work if I lit it here. Let's light this fire. There was a light post above? Okay, because I've noticed sometimes the Aurora wolves will stop and growl at me even if there's no lights around me. Hey, old fart. Oh, we're doing pretty good, buddy. Man, we tried to do Farthest Frontier again, but man, it really pissed us off. We got screwed over, and I pretty much decided I can't play it. Like, and I'm gonna leave the stream up permanently as an example of why I never want to play it again. And I chewed the devs out on the fucking forums. It pissed me right off. Basically, we kept on re-rolling, restarting the map, trying to find the perfect seed, and we found it. All we had to do was keep on restarting until there were no wolves or boars around our town center site. And we kept on restarting. Eventually the game crashed because it never did a data dump, right? So I fucking chewed them out for it. Shit, I have no water left. You know what? I'll drink some of this coffee. I'll drink the whole thing, in fact. I don't know. I'm not seeing a light here, buddy. No, that's a flagpole. It was a glitch. It was the same glitch I usually get. I know this game so well that I even know what glitches it has. Well, fuck, there goes the fire. It's still kicking. Let's start cooking while we boil water. Two stone caches might... Well, I find usually I can only place one. I think I said yesterday, you can't place stone caches too close to each other. There's like a 4-foot radius around stone cache where you can't place another one. And I also noticed that sometimes when the wind changes direction, it'll like blow out your fire for a second. But the direction that, like, your fire can be windproof in the current direction of the wind. But then if it changes direction to another direction that it's also windproof from, something about the changing of the wind direction will like fuck up your fire. Even though it went from one windproof direction to another windproof direction. It's weird. It just happens sometimes. Maybe the wind doesn't instantly shift, but it moves, like rotates over. So like it finds an access point for your fire while it's rotating. That's my best guess. That's the only guess I can put forward for how it happens. Anyway, I'm gonna start putting less fuel in the fire at a time. Well, we have another Aurora. And now we just do water with the rest of our fuel. But we'll put it, we'll put the fuel in there in bits and pieces. I don't want to, if the wind does shift direction and kind of blow it out for a second, then I just have to make sure that I can refuel it and that I didn't waste too much fuel when the wind changed direction. Anyway, we have a decent amount of cooked food there. I don't know where the fuck that wolf is that I put an arrow into, but he may just be long gone. Like, it's possible that arrow and the wolf are just gone with the wind, you know? He ran off this way, but he could be anywhere, like, on top these rock formations and shit. It's unlikely I find him. Especially since I had to go inside, it might have reset his position. Ugh. Anyway, this Aurora is a good chance to check. There is a light there. Where's it coming from? Okay, so it looks like it's not a light post, but you and I were both right. There was no light post, and there was a light here that stopped the wolf from advancing past this point. So you were right, Evo. You were right. Drop the water. Grab the small bottle. That seems to be the real strategy with a potentially vulnerable fire, is only put in a few sticks at a time. Yeah, at least it wasn't a glitch. Although, goddamn, Aurora animals, you've probably seen it yourself. Like, the Aurora animals are so glitchy. Like, they constantly interrupt their own pathing toward you and shit when they become aggressive. Oh. Yeah, see that? Good. Couple more sticks. We barely lost any fuel at all. Another batch. Then we do the next batch. "44 minutes. All right, let's do a 1 liter batch in each then. And then half liter. Sweet. Okay, we did good. We have a fuck ton of water and food now. What really sucks, normally I'd be okay with never hunting during an Aurora, but there's actually a boss battle against an Aurora Cougar that you're supposed to have to do when you go to Bleak Inlet to enter that bunker during the tails, right? So here's hoping they fix it soon. I'm already kind of clenching my butt cheeks in the knowledge that I'm going to be robbed of my desire for that boss fight. Like, I want to have to fight it, but last time I went there, and last time it was my time to fight it, it didn't even spawn in. In the previous series, there was no cougar during the Aurora. I could hear the music, and I could hear it growling, but it just wasn't there. Very strange. I don't know why it happened, but we're gonna hope that this time, when I go there, it's there. More to the point, we're gonna hope it's not super glitchy, because I actually ended up getting deep lacerations in this playthrough when I fought a cougar in Timberwolf Mountain because I decided to fight an Aurora Cougar instead of a normal one. And basically what happened was, after I shot him, he turned around to run away, went 3 feet away, and then turned around and pounced on me. Right? Like, the Aurora stopped him from running away like he was supposed to, and then he immediately, from 2 feet away, pounced at me. It was so unfair. And I'll never forget how angry I was when it happened. Justifiably so. I was pissed. Because, like, I now had to deal with an affliction that I never should have had to deal with. All right, 10-hour rest. We'll recover some losses regarding our health. We will work our way back toward the well-fed bonus again. I have to break my own habit. I always drink before I eat after I wake up, but you actually want to eat before you drink. Otherwise, you'll fill up your thirst meter and then you'll eat the meat, which will make you thirsty. So you're wasting water when you do it the way that I always do it. You know what I mean? I gotta stop fucking that up. Gotta try to learn how to stop fucking it up. Now, let's check on our hides and stuff here. Once my health is at a suitable level, we're gonna try to go craft the Cougar Claw knife. We're getting there. Like, you know, slowly but surely, we're getting there. We're doing good on the collection of hides. Now that we're doing decent on water and food, this is the time where I think about doing that forge run and making the cougar claw knife. I think all it requires is 3 scrap metal and a cougar claw. Let's find out. Cougar claw knife. I need a cured leather also. Okay. And I might want to work on replacing arrows soon. All right, 3 cured birch saplings. We have some arrow shafts in one of these. Okay. 14 arrowheads, 4 arrow shafts, which means I need 10 more arrow shafts, which means I need 4 cured birch saplings. So we're now at 2 cured birch saplings, 1 cougar claw. I have to open up my stashes document. I have 2 more rabbit hides, I think, for a total of 5, as well as... How many wolf pelts? We're just gonna put 5. It's negligible anyhow. Respirator canister, improvised hatches. I have 1 less leather now, for a total of 11. I think I have 2 more cloth for a total of 13. I have 2 more birch saplings here. Wait, that's not true. So I have some curing on the ground, which means I'm using 3, 6, 9. I'm using 4 of them. So we're going to say 4 birch saplings. I'm going to remove the arrowheads and shafts from the list. And then we have to deposit the feathers over there by the workbench. Yeah, we'll deposit this stuff in here for convenient access when we have an Aurora. And we'd like to make a shitload of arrows all at once. All right, there we go. Everything we need for continued arrow production is deposited in there. Now, I have a spare skillet, technically. I have a spare cooking pot as well, don't I? Hang on, let me look. I thought I found one. Yes, I'm gonna take that cooking pot over to the Forlorn Muskeg Forge site. We have 9 coal, lots of reclaimed wood, 5 scrap metal, 1 cloth, 1 pry bar. We have everything we need there to get the forge up to temperature. And then make that knife. I don't need to make anything else, like we're still doing pretty good on tools. God, that bed is really expensive. It must give you the most condition out of any other bed in the game, though. Alright, so let's get ready for that forge run. I'm gonna have a 2-hour nap, and then we're gonna get going. And then we'll be coming back with a cougar claw knife, provided everything goes well. I love you, sweetie. And you know what? If we do have 5 scrap metal over there, then I might want to leave this scrap metal here for future use. I trust my annotations. I'm usually pretty accurate with them, but I will take the cured leather. We need that for the handle. Yeah, we'll be fine. All right. Let's go grab some food. We're getting ready to go, and I will fill up my lantern as well. A magnifying lens? What? Where? Oh, I dropped it underneath the newsprint because I knew I didn't care about it. Like, it's a mag lens, right? In a world without sunlight, so that's funny. That's funny shit. I literally just dropped it beneath a stack of papers and forgot about it. I don't need to bring the hatchet with me. We could afford to be a little bit lighter in that regard. Although, I may end up with opportunities to harvest branches in relative warmth. I'm not sure. In fact, I doubt it, but yeah, we'll leave that there. And as far as that mag lens goes, we're gonna have to just drop that on the shelf or something. Maybe Evo. The longer you leave tip-ups out on the water, the more condition they lose. So if you just put tip-ups out there and you leave them there, every hour that they're out there, they lose condition. Until eventually you come back and try to collect your tip-up and it disappears because it's fully broken. You don't even get a broken one back, I don't think. You want to fish in bursts. So, like, go out to a fishing cabin, create a few ice fishing holes around the cabin, use the fire in the potbelly stove to keep yourself warm, while you repeatedly break the ice, cook the fish, boil some water, and catch more fish with the tip-ups. And then when you're done, you take the tip-ups back to the cabin with you. Alright. Well, time to go. Although it does seem freakishly fucking cold now. Still, there's never going to be a convenient time to walk over there. I pretty much just have to do it. We're going to have to endure some of the cold. In fact, the tip-ups actually lose more condition depending on where they are. So if you break the ice fishing hole inside of a fishing cabin, like a fishing hut, then it's going to lose condition in there slower than it would if you make an ice fishing hole just on the lake and leave it there. Yeah, if it's exposed to the outer elements, it actually loses condition faster. Alright, well, fortunately the wind died down a little bit. Not much, it's still going to be a very long and cold walk, but we'll get this forage run done. I do miss sunny days. There was something really satisfying where, you know how you get a sunny day and then you use a mag lens to start a free fire, and then you throw a piece of coal in it, and then you can gather that fir limb or the cedar limb without taking a bunch of health damage. I miss that. Now it's like every time I want to use fire to avoid taking health damage while I harvest wood, I have to use a match to do it. And there's no other time. There's like no other circumstance for me to save on a match. It's brutal. Alright, I got the Forlorn Muskeg, but we are now freezing, so... Yeah, fires no longer keep ice holes frozen, that's true. Yeah, no longer keeps it thawed.
Fires.
Now, I pretty much have to walk all the way to the forge without a break. I don't need to sleep at the forge. There is a bunker very near to the forge that I can use as a shelter. But I will not be making a rest stop at the poacher's camp. I feel like even when the story fully comes out, I'm probably still not gonna play it. I mean, the hardest difficulty they have for the story is Stalker, so I'd just be like growing mildew in my brain while I tried to trudge through how easy it was. What? No, unfortunately it wouldn't. The story's still grindy, even if it's easy. I hate easy grind, like... Well, there's something, there's just, it's imagine if you, as a good painter, were given crayons and told to knock yourself out. It's like, it just, you know, yeah. Although I think regarding the Long Dark, I've meandered past the elitist phase and I've gone into full-blown elite. I have mastered so much of this game. I'll be able to take a little rest stop at a interior shelter on the way to the forge. I think. Yeah, we have these caves up here. There's a transition cave that leads to Bleak Inlet that I'll be able to warm up in. Honestly, this is the easier way to get to the forge, I find. I used to take the other way, but the other way, using the train tracks, you have... Oh. You have to go through a lot more risky areas that way. And you have to memorize the safe footpath. Alright, take care for now, Evo. It was good to chill with you, buddy. Until next time, you take care. And for what it's worth, I hope your shift flies by today. Busy work is fast work, right? Hopefully you have your hands full and it's over before you know it. Okay, we've warmed up. Let's keep on moving. Sure are a lot of wolves here right now. If I'm not mistaken, that bunker should be up that hill, but I might be mistaken. I don't know the layout of the bunker's geographical location all that well. Even though I can reliably find it from one of the directions, I don't always find it from both ways. Let's give it a shot. Let's see if I can get there by taking this back way and warm up before I go to start the forge. Oh yeah, 100%. Found it. Let's get in there. Okay. Damn, I left a lot of harvestable wood here. That's pretty cool. Let's check the locker real quick. 9 coal. All right, let's get this fire started. Now, it would take roughly 8 coal if I wanted to get the furnace all the way up to temperature using only coal, which I might do. Then we can save some fire fuel to take back to Mystery Lake with us for fishing. All right, the forge is up to temperature. Let's craft this knife. Beautiful, we got it. Now I'm gonna use the rest of that fuel to harvest all the firewood in this area. Oh my god, there was a storm lantern in that crate the whole time? Wow. If only I would have harvested that crate before we went to Timberwolf Mountain, huh? Well, whatever. I would like to harvest that metal shelf. Everything here we're taking back with us. Even if it is heavy. Alright, we still have 4 hours, 53 minutes left on the fuel side of things. Let's have like a 3-hour nap. And then I can harvest that metal shelf. Let's eat up. Okay, now I just have to get the rest of this reclaimed wood to take back with us and scrap the pry bar. I don't know how the fuck my character harvests a crowbar. I don't know if I could break a pry bar with my bare hands into 2 pieces of scrap metal, but it is what it is. Really wish I didn't lose that well-fed bonus when we did, but that's okay. We're not too encumbered where I can't move. We'll get back home, even if it is a little slow. I'm just gonna harvest our regular knife. We have the cougar claw one now. Beautiful machine right there. Oh yeah. Fucking struggle-ending, wolf-killing, carcass-harvesting machine. Anyway, let's get out of here. At least now the wind has calmed down. We left nothing of import here. I will have to harvest that lantern that we found to reduce the weight of it, but that's no problem. We'll do that in the bunker when we're sleeping, getting ready for the return journey home. And there should be plenty of cattails that I can find in case I need supplementary calories to avoid losing my progress toward getting the well-fed bonus back. Got him. Well, the road is clear now. Well, let's get to that bunker. Harvest the lantern and go to sleep. And then I'll have a wolf steak to wake up to in the morning. Delicious. Fucking moist. Fucking moist. Although it seems like we're walking super slow, once we've rested all the way, we'll have a lot of our lost carry weight back. We will be over encumbered for the walk home. Sadly, I lost my well-fed bonus. It was my own mistake, but we have a lot of extra fire fuel gathered. 31 reclaimed wood and 26 sticks, which we can use for a lot of fishing. All right. All right, and we will seek out cattails on the way back for supplementary calories. Oh, yeah. We're taking home more scrap metal than we came here with. Anyway, I saw a birch sapling that I'm going to want to try to grab on the way through. I was unable to grab it on the first pass because we got accosted by a couple of wolves. I see several fucking wolves over there. Practically have a full-fledged blizzard forming, it looks like. Let's get into that interior cave that I can use as a rest stop. Straight up this hill. Hopefully the weather's settled down. More or less, yeah. It is going to be a slow-ish walk, though. No two ways about it. Oh, bad weather. We're gonna freeze quite a bit on the way home, but I have to try to get cattails. I'm not really sure where that birch sapling was. Nice as it would be to get it, it isn't immediately necessary. Can I get across the water here? Or do I have to go to a direct confrontation with those wolves? Yeah, definitely have to. I'll try to get around. It's not gonna help us getting cattails, though. I may actually bottom out on calories. I can't see that sapling. Nor am I seeing any cattails on the water here. Here's some cattails. Maybe I don't need to lose the well-fed. We'll see. Well, my progress toward getting well-fed back, anyway. Alright, buddy. I can't think with you following me like this, so... Come on. That's what you get. There's more cattails over here. Let's grab them. At least the stalks. We're only going to be at about 30% of our health by the time we actually get to the camp office, but those are easy wounds to lick. We'll spend some time doing some fishing, stockpile good vitamin C granting food. And I need to check and see if I can actually get any salt in the cave that connects Milton to Mystery Lake. If so, then maybe I could dry and cure some meat, but I need 8 kilograms of salt just to craft the box, I think. The wind is finally subsiding. I love you too. All right, finally home. We can get a little bit of rest, get some health back. And we did not lose our well-fed bonus, I'm happy to say. At least our progress toward reacquiring it. Let's get upstairs and let's get some rest. Slept through an Aurora. Would have been a good chance to make some arrows, but We got the well-fed bonus back while we were sleeping. That's 3 consecutive days we've remained fed. We finally have our cougar claw knife. Far more scrap metal than we had before. $14 scrap metal, 1 cougar claw. 14 cloth. And let's go deposit this firewood for now. We don't currently need it, but we are going to prepare for a fishing trip. I'll take that cedar. We're going to be using that for base construction stuff. And for now, I need to go to that... Well, easier to go to Google. Salt. Long dark. Where can I acquire it? Salt deposits. That's what we need. Salt deposit. So, no, they're all in Desolation Point, Crumbling Highway, Coastal Highway. There's some in Bleak Inlet, so if I wanted salt, I'd have to go to Bleak Inlet, basically. Which kind of sucks. I mean, it's possible. It's more than possible, but... At least there is a region near here where I can get salt. It just also involves killing an army of timber wolves first. Or an army of regular wolves, if we're lucky. The spare cooking pot here we're going to use as a fishing cooking pot. I'd love to find a salt bag around here, but never did. Never did. Let's take our hatchet. We may find occasion to use it. Deposit that cooking pot for now. Unlikely though it may be, it's fucking freezing. Definitely gonna take damage if I try to get some firewood. And the thing is, I kind of want to use that firewood to craft like the salt curing box and stuff. There is a forge in Bleak Inlet, isn't there? Maybe I should just move my main base to Bleak Inlet. Forge. Long dark. Locations with a forge. Nope, doesn't look like it. There's a forge relatively close. In Forlorn Muskeg that I could use, but... Anyway, we now have an Aurora. We're going to use this to craft some arrows. I got 3 fir firewood. Because it's okay to live in a place where there's a bunch of timber wolves if you always have arrows to kill them, right? And besides, they just mean that you can get a lot of food pretty easily. However, losing arrows is a common problem when you're fighting timber wolves just because you have to shoot so many and they don't exactly run straight at you. But you can, more or less, manage. They pause before they attack you. You can use that pause to try to get the headshot. Okay, we made all the arrow shafts that we're gonna need. Now it's just, it comes down to the actual crafting of the arrows themselves. But we do have like 14 to make, so this is gonna take several Auroras in order to finish the entire workload. But that's okay. We'll chip away at it. Open the drawer. Anyway, the truth is, if I do want to have a good base, it is going to have to be in Bleak Inlet. Only because that's the only place where I can get a sustainable amount of salt for the curing of meat. So... Okay. So that means that the cedar and the fir that I currently have is just fishing shit. But should I really create a stockpile of fish here if I'm going to be moving over there anyway? A lot of work to move somewhere else. Yeah. Maybe I could go on like a day trip over there just to get some salt. It'd be easier to do that probably than it would be to move my entire base over there. Go on a day trip, get as much salt as I can, maybe try to get inside the Bleak Inlet cannery if we have an Aurora during that time where I'm over there. I still need to go to the far territories and get the radio transceiver. That is gonna have to happen.
More of a night trip, isn't it?
Yeah. Alright, let's have a brief nap, and then we have to go fishing. However, I still need to craft myself tip-ups. I need 4 mint condition tip-ups to use. We have a lot of fire fuel that we're sitting on. And I have to make sure I'm not using my, my good fishing lines. I'll use the bad ones. Hi, Tai. Hello, Tai Tai. Tai, Tai, Tai! Tai, 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 Tai! Oh, what a good boy. There's my good boy. Mm-hmm. Come here, bud. Come here. Come here.
That's bad.
I know, you just get cozy. That's a good boy. Oh, yeah, you lay here. You can totally lay on my lap. Wow, what are you doing? What a nutcase.
Doesn't want your love. He just
He wants my property. Yeah, he doesn't want my love. He wants my property. Alright, sadly, I can't make the fishing tip-ups until we have light here. I may be stuck waiting until we have an Aurora, but in the meantime, I can try to get more fire fuel so that we can extend our fishing trip. Dad's on a fishing trip, and he hasn't been home in a few days. That was a bad one. I wonder if there's any coffee left in the pot. Well, if I want more fire fuel, probably the best place to find it is going over to the fishing cabin area. A lot of branches and twigs there that I never picked up. Well, let's get over there. God, I'm pissing away health. Oh, this is so stressful. I gotta touch full health, but I don't want to break into my, I don't want to break into my reserves of birch bark. Hello, Shibi. Honestly, yeah. Ever since we did all the stuff that we did, I've had stable internet in line with normality. There's pretty much nothing wrong with it since then, so... Thanks again for your help. For all we know, it had to do with rolling back my graphics card driver and all that other stuff, right? Rolling back the OBS version and whatnot. Good afternoon, Delta Ray. How are both of you doing, anyway? Right on. Very good. Well, not about the cold, but it is nice that you're feeling a little better. Make sure you don't have any sugar. If you have a cold, sugar's not going to help it. Oh, shit. I walked all the way over here and I don't even have any water. Son of a bitch. Yeah, I think I'm done with the long dark for the day. Like, we made some progress. We made the cougar claw knife. And we stockpiled a lot of water. But I feel like I'm just, it's so stressful to play in these settings. It's not easy. I need to figure out something to do, so I'm actually thinking I might try to do like Days Gone. You know, I'll buy Days Gone, the remastered version. I'll give it a shot. Apparently it's got like a permadeath adjacent game mode now, so. Make sure you don't put honey in that tea. It's a misconception. Honey is it's antibacterial and antiviral, yes, but sugar has an effect on your body that actually reduces your T cell count. So it impacts your immunity negatively. I don't know how those two facts converge and what the reality is, but probably better off just having like a hot ginger tea with no sweetener. Oh god, look at our fucking health. At least I can get another 10-hour rest. Let's grab some water. Getting pretty low on food, too. Again, yeah, that fishing run is requisite. Okay. Get some sleep, get some meager health regeneration going. Well, hopefully it's negligible. I can't say for sure. Yeah. I just know that whenever I get a cold, it's DEFCON fasting. Like I always fast until dinner, and I try to avoid sugar completely and carbs. Refined carbohydrates like bread and all that, it negatively impacts immunity too, so.
Soup is the best thing.
Yeah, chicken noodle soup for a cold.
With whole-baked croutons.
God. May as well have frickin' Mr. Noodles.
Oh, fuck off.
Alright. 2 accelerants, 10 sticks. We'll craft those tip-ups as soon as we can. Yeah, I gotta admit, I really don't like this series. It's so hard to get through. I need to like step away from it and take breaks all the time because the permanent nightfall is just so depressing. It really takes it out of you. May as well keep that on me. Anyway, we still have a bunch of cured meat on the ground that we can use as supplementary food later. Save and quit. Let's take a look at our stats before we wrap up the stream, and then... God, I don't want to play more Schedule 1, but I do. You know what I mean? Like, it's there. I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without Schedule 1. We're almost at 140 days.
The hopeless Schedule 1 addict.
Hey, if you make a chicken soup without the noodle, then that's dope. That's fucking really dope, because then it won't impact It won't impact your immunity at all. But once you put noodles in there, like any type of pasta or refined wheat, like it just causes inflammation in your body that negatively impacts the immunity response. All right. Do I get Days Gone? Like, how expensive is this shit? I don't even see a remastered version. Days Gone remastered. Yeah, I don't even see that. When's the release date? Days Gone remastered content coming to PC as a DLC. Oh, the PC gets no remaster. You pay $10 for Horde Assault mode, Permadeath mode, Speedrun mode. God damn. No, I don't think so. What games do I have hidden on my library? Not much. Man, I need that Long Dark update. It's kind of been too long now. It has been too long since I've played the sorry, fucking yeah, 7 Days to Die. We need that. We fucking need it. When the hell's it coming? It's been delayed by several weeks. It's been several weeks, bro. Fuck. God damn it. No, no noodles, Joshua. No noodles. See, Shibi's sick, so if he has the noodles, then they'll negatively impact his immunity, right? Yeah, I'm waiting for version 2.0. Oodles and noodles. That reminds me of the Dane Cook comedy. You're just sitting there making oodles and noodles. It's weird. It's really weird, but I do feel like Schedule 1 brought my brain up to this place where my standards are so fucking high. And now it's like whenever I play even the Long Dark, whenever I experience like the Aurora animals being all glitchy, I'm like, right? Or if I play Farthest Frontier and I keep if I keep re-rolling the map and re-rolling the map and not getting something I can just play, then I'm like, and then today the fucking game crashed because we re-rolled the map too many times So it's like, you know.
You know what I think?
And then Monster Hunter, they come out with the Arch-Tempered Hunt, and it's laughably easy. So, like, this big Arch-Tempered monster I've been waiting for a month was just trivially simple. And then Abiotic Factor, thick-skinned is still bugged, so it's like,
I actually think your brain rewiring itself when you quit smoking.
It could be.
Your general dopamine is fuckity. And I mean schedule 1, you know, of course.
Extremely fun. Yeah. You guys agree with Zuzi that maybe because now I'm 3 weeks clean without cigarettes, that maybe this is the rewiring portion of my dopamine? And that it just feels like I have greatly reduced interest in things or less patience for broken things? Oh yeah, and Kem, it's been this way the whole time too. The Fun Pimps, there's a storied history there. Like, 7 Days to Die is a wildly successful game. Nobody's going to dispute that. It's one of the most popular games in the world, I'd argue, for good reason. But that accolade is met with a storied history of the devs just betraying the fucking customer base. In fact, Steam policies now require that when a game is released in early access, that there is a clear roadmap with dates of when the content is expected to be released. If 7 Days to Die came out as an early access game now, and they did things as they did them, then everybody would have been entitled to a refund a dozen times over. Given Steam's new policies regarding the roadmaps of early access games and the requirement to release content on time and to give people what they were promised.
What they paid for.
What they paid for, yeah. So if 7 Days to Die came out now in early access and had to adhere to those rules and didn't the way that they did it before, then they would have gotten refunded into oblivion and the game probably wouldn't have stuck. Quits smoking and craves to play a game about drug dealing. My cam is freezing up. Well, I have a lot of stuff open right now. Yeah, we're getting a little bit of drops. I can't tell you why. Yeah, we're definitely getting some drops. Hang on, let me open the game. Click on that. Yeah, I don't know. We're getting drops for sure. But we're getting the electrician in here to check the Ethernet cable. For sure. We're getting constant drops too. I mean, but that could just be my mom. Isn't she home from her appointment already?
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be mom doing something on her phone that, you know. Either way, at least now we're not playing anything, so it's like we don't really need any quality for now. Trying to figure out what the hell I will do with the rest of the day, though. Yeah. Yeah, the cable runs through the walls. Let's take a look at the task manager here. Check the performance page. Ethernet, sending 8.1, 7.3, 7.7. It looks like it's stabilizing. Well, we are getting spikes downward. I'm gonna have to go ask mom what she's doing. Maybe I could just start a stream where we like watch YouTube or whatever. Like just watch shit, you know? React. Well, it just reinforces the point that we gotta get the hell out of here. Like this, I hate living here. Poor infrastructure, poorer town, poor quality people in the town. It's a shitty place to live. Most of rural Canada is a shitty place to live. It's quaint, but quaint doesn't really make you happy. At the very least, though, these drops aren't as bad as the drops were prior. It kind of ebbs and flows between stability and drops. Maybe I'll just install Project Zomboid. However, Mom was playing an online game on her tablet that needs connection in order to be played. And she said that she would turn it off, and ever since she turned it off, there haven't been any frame drops. It could have been that game. A mobile game, right? Yeah, like it.
Minimum.
Yeah.
So
now we might have drops right now because I'm installing Project Zomboid. I mean, maybe that's just what I need. So what? The unstable build, right? Unstable build 42. Yeah, we'll install that. Maybe I'll try to do a Zomboid run. Although if I have low patience, man, like, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyway, yeah, you guys might see some frame drops in my webcam, but it's because I'm doing a download. Hello, Mary. No rage quitting? Oh god, we'll see. I've been having a decent day today, a decent day. Farthest Frontier pissed me off though, and we stopped playing Farthest Frontier. Basically, we kept on re-rolling the map and re-rolling it, and then we finally found a map that we liked, and the game crashed. So it was like, I chewed the devs out in the fucking forums. I was like, is it really hard to make sure that the game does a data dump between rerolls, right? Like, I may have called them incompetent and accused them of having apathetic professional standards. But I stand by that. If they didn't, my game wouldn't have crashed after several rerolls. Yeah, we think that because I'm 3 weeks clean from having cigarettes now, it's like taking its toll. Anyway, this download's almost done. I know that my webcam has been very stuttery, but we have Project Zomboid officially installed. I'm gonna schedule a stream and then just port you guys over to that one, over to the Project Zomboid stream. But I'll have to create a stream, I believe. It's been too long since I've played it, so I don't really... Oh, okay. Here we go. Reuse settings. Project Zomboid, build 42. Worsened... No, I don't want to play worsened 6 months later. Not really. I mean, it might be possible, but... We'll do worsened apocalypse. So start by choosing apocalypse as the difficulty preset. Go down to the world tab, change the darkness during night setting to pitch black. Sadistic AI director, change the helicopter setting to sometimes. In the meta tab, change times before corpse removal to 72 hours. Loot rarity tab, set every single setting here to rare. I thought about doing the Days Gone upgrade, but then I have to buy Days Gone and buy the DLC, and on PC, we don't even get the remaster. So, like, we're not even gonna have, like, an improved visual experience. They're just selling, like, Horde mode and permadeath difficulty as a DLC, pretty much.
Probably because the game PC is already essentially a remaster of the console.
Yeah, I don't really want to do it. And the problem with Days Gone is that it's a story game. So if you play a story game permadeath, then what happens if I die and I want to restart the series? I would have to skip cutscenes to the chagrin of potential viewers, or I would have to watch them to the chagrin of myself. So it just doesn't really, you know? Anyway, we have Project Zomboid here now, and it looks like ever since the download finished, our frame rate is stable. So I am going to prepare this stream by looking at the Project Zomboid settings. I'll do it with you guys. We'll kind of prepare it before we start here. All right, so options, my audio settings seem okay. I'm gonna lower the music volume a little bit. Let's build this difficulty together. So Apocalypse as the preset. We'll leave all that like just the way it is. Hang on, Project Zomboid. Okay, now. World tab. Darkness during night to pitch black. Oh yeah, that's not here anymore. I think darkness during night has been moved, hasn't it? God, there's light bulb lifespan now? Oh god, this is... Maybe all I need is a nice phase with this game.
I can give you advice. Make it bite only. Like faction bite only.
We'll see. All right, so months since the apocalypse. It affects starting world, erosion, and food spoilage. But you know what? We'll leave that at 0. And we'll do majority regular here. So infection mortality will be set to 0 to 30. No. I kind of wish we could modify this. I remember we had an issue where every single time we got grabbed, we became a zombie. So maybe I need to do the 2 to 3 days thing and not change it. I don't know. I don't know if I can get grabbed and not become a zombie instantly. I don't know. We'll leave it at 2 to 3 days, I guess. Actually, no, instant. I can't play in anything else. I don't want to wait 3 days to find out if I'm gonna lose my playthrough, you know? Cognition, navigate and use doors. All right, so it's not called the zombie lore tab anymore. It's just the zombie tab. Change cognition to navigate and use doors, as well as infection mortality to Well, we will do 0 to 30 seconds. And then advanced zombie settings. So scroll down to advanced zombie settings. Then set respawn hours and respawn unseen hours to 0. They both need to be 0, otherwise you'll still get respawning zombies. Now we have to go to the loot tab and we have to set everything to extremely rare. This is going to be our modified apocalypse difficulty. We already technically have a modified 6 months later difficulty, but I feel like that's way too hard for me to handle right now. I'm really out of practice with this game, so. All right. Okay, so these are set to 0, so there's not going to be any loot respawn. Thank you very much, Mary. I really appreciate that. Everybody who got those, welcome to the pack. I see Ellie got it, as well as Chop, Slap, and Doom. Right on. Thank you, Mary. I appreciate that heavily. Now, Darkness During Night. We found it. It's in the Nature tab. So, go down to the Nature tab and change the Darkness During Night setting to pitch black. Sadistic AI Director. What's that, meta? So yeah, helicopter event sometimes. Time before corpse removal, where was that? Where is time before corpse removal? They shifted everything around, so it's kind of hard for me to find the stuff. Zombie? Is it in the zombie menu? I have no idea where it is. Oh, here we go. Okay, time before corpse removal, 72 hours. Although, maybe I shouldn't even change that. Gives me a chance to practice body disposal, you know? So, meta. Loot rarity tab, everything is set to extremely rare. Zombie tab, navigate, use doors, infection, mortality. Advanced zombie settings, respawn hours, and all that. Okay, so we have the difficulty all figured out. New playlist. Project Zomboid Worsened Apocalypse Attempts. And then we have to do last minute modifications to this difficulty to make it more in line with the experience I'd like to have. Now, I usually like shutting off like the fridges and the water right away. Kind of make survival harder, but I think for now I'll leave it on. Just to sort of practice. Okay, I think everything is set the way it needs to be, so we'll save this as Modified Apocalypse. And then I will save this live stream. We'll start it at, let's say, 2:40 p.m. And then I will add a redirect to our current live stream that will lead into that one so that you guys don't have to, like, seek it out. We can just keep chilling. I really hope I enjoy it, man. I hope I enjoy it. I gotta get out of this mental rut. I mean, the fact that the cigarettes did this much damage and that it's 3 weeks later. I do think that Zuzi has a point. Like, I actually think that my brain is doing a lot of the heavy rewiring work now.
But the science shows it's a solid month. Start normalizing.
Yeah.
And cigarettes are a lot more chemically.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that it would.
Yeah.
So you just got.
All right, guys. I will be right back. I'm ending the stream now. And you guys will get directed directly into the next one. So we'll just be, you know, we'll be able to pick up right there. All right, I'll see you in a moment. Yeah, you'll be directly directed to my ass.